And now we have the Green Bay Packers. As you can see, Matthew Stafford is their quarterback with a X Factor, 79 overall. Matt Hasselbeck is the backup here in Green Bay. They have LeSean McCoy at running back. He is an all-star or superstar dev, 79 overall. Cadillac Williams is there. Rookie James Starks. And then Jerome Harrison, who came over from, I think, New England. He had some other team he bounced off as well. As you can see with wide receivers, they had Edelman last year, who was superstar dev. They have James Jones, Jarris McKinstry, I think it's Charles Davis, or maybe Craig Davis, one of the two. It's not Craig Davis, forget that. But in this year, they drafted Antonio Brown with the fourth in the fourth round, and I think it was a great selection because Mike Tomlin is the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, and so he drafted a real life player that the coach did draft in real life. This is going to be a great target for Matthew Stafford. They also have Zach Miller as their tight end. Probably could definitely do some improvements there. They spent a second-round pick on Tony Moecki, who is not probably going to pan out as much as we hope he does. They did draft Russell Okung with the 18th overall pick, so he tackle slipped to the teens. Brandon Albert, 81. Jeff Fain was signed after I think he had, I forget where he was before. I can find that out real quick. Jeff Fain was drafted by the Cleveland Browns. That's right. And just like he did in real life, but he left Cleveland for Green Bay. So that's right. That was a real life pick. Then you see Sean Laval, who also was drafted by Cleveland in real life, whereas in this reality, he is drafted by the Packers. And that's a rookie this year. So the third round, 18th selection in the 2010 draft. Laval will be likely the starter over Steve Valos. Then there's Mike Otto, and so we'll see if Otto or Parnell ends up being the right tackle over there for Green Bay. Then we have on defense, Vince Wilfork at DT, Darnell Dockett, and Henry Melton. So really big guys up front for this 3-4 defense. I remember it was Vince Wilfork was drafted in the first round and Dockett the second round of the 2004 draft because I had a mistake that I drafted 2 DTs in a row. But they ended up becoming the duo on that defensive front. Now being a 3-4, Dockett ends up being, instead of being the DT number 2, he's now a defensive end. They have Ellerby, who's their middle linebacker. They do have David Hawthorne. There's Quentin Groves and Sean Merriman. And Merriman was the first round pick in 2005 at 80 overall. Very reliable linebacker there. Cornerbacks, they have Nnamdi Asomugha, Brandon Browner, and Jenkins. I'm trying to remember which Jenkins that is. Not sure. I'm going through my draft notes here. You're not seeing him. Maybe he was signed along the way. But anywho, solid defensive backs there. So again, they're going up against Brett Favre, Brody Croyle, Mark Sanchez. They have Usama Young and Larry Asante at free safety, and James Sanders and Kurt Coleman, who is the rookie. Asante and Coleman are rookies, but very balanced team. Their front three are solid big guys up front, more run stoppers than pass rushers, but their DBs can make up for it. As we move to special teams, we see Weatherford and Martin Gramatica as their special teamers. So let me know what you think with Green Bay. They were like half a game away from the playoffs. They really started off pretty rough with that initial few games, but then they turned it around and had a 9-8 season. So the Packers are off to a great start with the career of Matthew Stafford. It's a little funky since he was on the Lions in real life, but now with the Packers having Matt Stafford, we will see how his career is different. Let me know your thoughts.